Hey, this is Phil Lilley, Lilley's Landing Resort in Marina on Lake Taneycomo. Jackson and I are going to do one cast. Today is Monday, the 22nd of November. They ran some water this morning, but it is off right at the moment. They're scheduled to run water all day yesterday and all day today, but they changed it up on us. I'm throwing my fly rod. I am throwing 2 zebra midges under an indicator. The first zebra midge is about 3.5, 4 feet, and the next one is a foot under that. I've got a number 16. It's kind of a clear rib. I guess you call it gray with a silver head, nickel. And the bottom one is a 16. No, it's an 18 red zebra midge with a black head, and there's a little bit of wind out of the north, a little bit of chop on the water, and I need to back up just a little bit. Excuse me, Jack. Okay. I don't want to get too close to that bar. I want to stay down below. Narrows is right up there. I know I'll probably have some boats go in front of me, which is fine. I'm using 7X tippet today, 7X fluorocarbon. Just trying something different. Kind of getting away from scuds today. Hadn't tried zebra midges in a while. And that's Link Hunt coming up behind me. A lot of people in town right now. It is really, really busy. And a lot of kids, so I guess there's a lot of schools. There's a lot of schools out this week. And I got a fish on the first cast. Got a lot of stack in my line. It's actually a fairly decent fish. I'm gonna be on my reel here. Go that way. Go toward the bank. Thank you. I roll my line. Water's pretty shallow up there, so you really got to stay in the channel.
You catching a bunch?
It's my first cast. Little zebra midge. It's a really nice fish. I think Link has been on one cast before. He's from Dallas. He comes up, spends a month here in the summer, and he's actually worked for us a little bit. The other news I have is I got an email from the Corps this morning. They've lifted some restrictions on what they can run at the dam as far as CFS, and when they do that, that's an indication that table rock is turning, that they can run up to 3 units or 120 megawatts of water without injecting liquid oxygen. He took the bottom, or the red small zebra midge, and he is 16 inches? No. About 16 inches. And the hook came right out. And the other hook is in the net, which I'll have to get that out. So that means our oxygen is now going back to being good. They quite possibly will start running more water. Table Rock's a foot high, so they have a little bit of water to play with. I'm gonna go ahead and bend the barb down on this fly. So I can get it out of the net. That won't hurt anything. Well, that was cool. I think I had a bite before that. Before I caught that one. And I moved it a little bit. Left it out there and another fish came along and hit it. Okay. Cool. So that's pretty exciting news. Our seasonal low oxygen content in our lake is coming to an end. And it'll be good until next August, September. There's another one. He's a small one. Oh, came loose. Well, that's kind of neat to see. I haven't really tried zebra midge much lately, but when I have tried it, they hadn't really hit it very good. And again, you can use a spin cast. Just use a little bit bigger carrot float and do the same thing I'm doing, except with a spin cast. I'd definitely use 2-pound line. Oh, I'm tangled up. Oh, just came loose. Remember, I don't like to use 2 flies because that means I have 3 things on my line. Oh, I just missed one. I have 3 things on my line, and the more things you have on your line, the more chance of getting all tangled up. They are hitting the surface a little bit. I like to leave it out there for about a minute, minute and a half, and then move it. You know, zebra midge, you don't have to move the float. You can if you want, but sometimes it'll trigger a bite. But I've found that most of the time, just leaving it out there, they're either going to hit it or they're not. They do hit it, I think, a little better if there's a chop on the water, but this is a fly that you can use in conditions like this where there's no chop and be pretty successful at. Whereas a jig in these conditions doesn't work very good. Of course, a jig you got to work at. It's another decent fish. And he took the 18 Fred. Looks like the flies came out. Okay, all right. He's not quite as long as that first one. If you're wondering what I'm doing when I do this, I actually have too long a leader. I've tied on too many pieces of tippet, and excuse me just a minute, I gotta reposition. Sorry about the sun glare, it only lasts a second. I'm getting too close to that bank. I'm using the water to pull my leader out of my rod, basically. Yeah, this is where I want to be, out here. Water is getting a little bit too shallow in there where it was. The last time it kind of pulled me over there a little bit. Uh-oh. Yes, okay. Turn this back down. Didn't throw me out. But I was in town. Oh, I just missed one. I was in town, went to Super Walmart, and they were packed. A lot of people. I went to one on the Strip, and it wasn't quite so bad. But a lot of traffic in town. This week is usually kind of busy. I think a lot of kids are out of school this week. I'm using a pretty small indicator. I try to match the indicator with the fly that I'm using. You can use a pretty small indicator with these. It's not going to pull the indicator under. These flies don't weigh hardly anything, even though they have tungsten heads. which are heavier than what they call cyclops eyes, which are metal. Just rare metal. And then you can tie these with glass beads too, or plastic beads. I got friends that go to Michael's or Hobby Lobby and they buy beads and they tie the zebra midge with craft beads. Probably nothing wrong with it. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm all tangled up again. Well, I was. I wonder if I'm slipping down a little bit. No? I'm good. When I throw out there, I'm watching for 3 splashes and making sure the flies are landing and the line stretching out from the float to the first fly, just so it's all straight. And ooh, that's a good fish. That's a really good fish. Making sure it's all straight and not tangled. There is just a little bit of current because I've moved about 100 yards since I started. When Table Rock really starts to turn, normally we get a lot of turbidity in the water. It kicks up a lot of silt. Yeah, kicks up a lot of silt on the bottom of Table Rock, and when it mixes, if it mixes real violently or real all at one time, we can get a lot of dirt in our lake, in our water, and the visibility, I mean, it's not terrible, but it is worse than our normal, very super clear water. I'm not seeing that yet, but it does seem like it affects our fishing a little bit. Every year is different, though. And I know because of our cold weather we had here a couple weeks ago, man, the fish that are coming up sound big. I think it just had a bite. They're not taking my float under. They're just vibrating the float just a little bit. Ooh, I wasn't even real sure if that was a bite or not. I forgot what I was saying. He took the little red one too. I've always had real good luck with red zebra midges. Good one. Come on. One more. And I gotta go in. Got several boats out today. It's beautiful. It's supposed to be super nice tomorrow too. Front coming through, but it's not supposed to get cold. Not terribly cold. Oh, what I was saying about, I think Table Rock's, it's, I reported it started to turn here a couple weeks ago, and you know, that was the word. We started getting a lot of turbidity in the lake, and then it cleared up. So it's possible we might not get a lot of dirt in the lake. Comes Tony in his new boat. I think it's 10-minute bite. They're hitting the zebra midge pretty good.
Wasn't very successful on a jig.
Yeah, they're eating the zebra midge pretty good.
Zebra midge?
Yeah.
Brett was catching some on a micro jig.
Yeah. I thought it was a little flat for a jig, so.
Yeah, they didn't even really chase it. So.
Huh. I did pretty good, you know, down the River Point boat ramp on a 32nd ounce jig a couple, 3 days ago.
You did? Yeah, I think guys, they just want to go out and have fun, so we'll do something.
I think there might be more fish, and I think there are bigger fish down there too.
Down by Silver Creek.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's nice out, so that's all that matters. All right, I'm going to go get all my gear put in here.
Okay. See ya. I think I've talked about my fish tank I'm putting in my office. I got to go over here and get some more mud and some more gravel for it. Brian, my nephew, gave me one that he's not, oh, he just barely moved it. But it's a big, great big thing. It's like 36 by 18. He kept a big lizard in it. So I got to get a lot of mud and a lot of gravel for that thing. But I've got some in it now, and some bugs, and it's really looking good. Can't wait to start taking some video and showing these things off. Got sow bugs and scuds. And in the mud, I've got this little tiny worm that comes up out of the mud and waves around. I can't pronounce the name. Dwayne told me what they were. This is what I would call a good eater. About 11 inches long. He will not stop. Got him right at the top of the mouth. And he's gone. Hooked myself. That's a good one to end on. Well, that was fun. Glad they hit a zebra midge. Enjoy your day, enjoy the week, and the holiday. See you tomorrow.